Well, I've got a thing somewhere, and I could give you the piece of paper because I did a screenshot of it that I found recently. Blinded by the Light, which is obviously the reason that album succeeded as it did, was the bottom of the album track list. I had other tracks as singles, other tracks that were supposed to be the important tracks. And right at the bottom is just Blinded by the Light. It was a very, very complex record, much more complex even than the album track, an exceedingly difficult record to simplify. There were bits of absolute magic in what we had on tape, but to simplify it was extremely extreme. It took 9 months of work of trying different ideas.
What about the saga of Blinded? Because Manfred tells the story that that took months and months and months to record.
Yeah, well, it did. Now, and of course, this is my first time in a recording studio, right? So, from my point of view, I I think I went up to Manfred's cottage early on, before just really early on, and I think he was getting to know me and vice versa. And I remember him playing "Blinded" on the piano, and I think it was he'd had that song for a while, Springsteen song, and it was like one of these things that just didn't gel with Mick. So when he played it to me, and I mean, I know I can promise you, I wasn't being an ass licker, you know. I mean, when he played that song to me, I thought, even with no experience, I could hear that on the radio. It was just there was just something about that song. I went, oh my god! So that was the first thing that got me. So we did that, and then as we recorded it, it was becoming more and more apparent that this was going to be a pretty good song, you know. And everyone felt that. And then there's got to be a guitar solo on it, and I just said to myself, I've got to do something here. This song is going to be it. I mean, I said this to myself, you know. So I was really glad that worked out, because that was the one that it was such a good song, and they were putting a guitar solo in it. The solo had to be almost part of the song. That's what I thought, you know. So that was what I was aiming for. But so we've done it, and we've done it again, and we've remixed it and done it again. So I'm the new guy, and I said to Manfred one day, I said, Manfred, why we're doing it again? I can't hear much difference, but why are we taking so long to do it again and again and again? And Manfred said, well, Dave, you know, and he didn't say this in a patronizing way. It was just like education for me. He said, Dave, and the league that we're in now, the day they've just got X amount of money. The day that we release this album, Genesis, Paul McCartney, you know, and Journey or anyone, or AC/DC, they could all release an album on the same date. And the kid's he's just got a couple of quid, and he can't buy 5 albums. So in order to get him to buy ours, it's got to sound the best that we can do. And of course, he was right. I mean, everyone was really frustrated. I mean, Chris Slade, Chris Thompson, especially. I mean, everybody's going, what the? I mean, Jesus Christ, what's wrong? I mean, everybody was getting frazzled, because it was like we couldn't hear any difference. But you know, that's Manfred is the king of second guessing his second guesses. But I remember, you know, the tape we used, like, was it 4-inch tape in those days? You know, I mean, the amount of times we messed about with Blinded. I mean, there was, because when you spliced, you've probably seen it, when you slice the tape, you know, you cut a piece out and you put the tape together and you put a bit of white tape over it, and that's it. There was as much white tape edits on the reel as there was Blinded as was music. I mean, it was nuts. God. And of course you got like, it wasn't like there was a producer. It was sort of Manfred, but it was the band. Everybody was there at the same time. So somebody said, "Oh, what about that symbol? Or what about that? Oh, I don't know about that." So I mean, it was like, you could imagine what it was like. Everybody had an opinion, you know.
I mean, I tell you what I do remember for Blinded by the Light, and I don't know if I dreamt this, but I remember Manfred being on the phone to Bruce Springsteen in what was quite a hectic control room. Did he tell you that story?
Well, the story he tells is he tried to ring him, but he hadn't allowed for the time difference. So he never actually spoke to Bruce. I think Bruce answered the phone, he sort of, ugh, and Manfred realised...
Yeah, no, what I remember was that Manfred was trying to talk to him,
Yeah.
and he was saying, oh, fucking hell, he's completely off his head. He's totally incoherent, and ended the conversation.
Right.
I think the idea was to try and get Bruce down to do some backing book, was the idea.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad it's vaguely a true story. I mean, Blinded by the Light was quite a tricky record. Lots of crossfades, and to enable what we were doing, we had to mix bits and then reprint them. So you'd have what you call generations. So you'd lose sound quality as you transfer it over. But it's the only way we could do that. It's quite an interesting record, really, the way it crossfades backwards and forwards between the sections. So yeah, quite a clever thing at the time. So I remember spending ages on that.